Welcome back to Flashback Fridays brought to you by ClioVis. Today, we're discussing the space race, one of the greatest rivalries in history. It pushed humanity beyond our limits and into the stars. But how do we untangle the complex web of events, people, and technology that made it all possible? With the help of ClioVis, we've mapped out the key events of the space race, connecting the dots between Cold War tensions, groundbreaking innovations, and the people who changed history forever. If you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like and comment what Flashback Friday video you want to see next. Now, I'll pass it over to Evelyn to give you the historical details. Enjoy!
Before the International Space Station, SpaceX, and privatized space travel, we began at the basic concept of competition. Following World War II and the creation of the atomic bombs, two nations entered what is known as the Cold War. The Soviet Union and the United States, who both possessed nuclear weapons, posed a threat to each other with their increased interest in technological advancement. The Cold War was a non-military based war, and one of the primary battles was the space race. This timeline explains how we went from simple satellites to putting a man on the moon. The space race begins with the launch of Sputnik 1 by the Soviet Union. Sputnik caused a big threat for Americans because they believed the Soviet Union was using this satellite to spy on Americans. During this time, the US was working on their own projects. However, they were beat again with Sputnik 2 and Laika. Laika was a dog that was put inside of Sputnik 2 and launched into space. And while she survived the initial launch, she was not able to make the journey back to Earth. But on January 31st, 1958, the US successfully launched their own satellite, Explorer 1. Explorer 1 was only 80 inches in size but made 58,000 orbits around the Earth in its 2-year lifespan. What's significant about this launch is that it sparked the idea to create the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and President Dwight Eisenhower declared this a federal agency. This federal agency, known as NASA, went on to create Mercury missions, which was comprised of 6 missions, including objectives such as putting a man into space with Freedom 7 and Alan Shepard, and also to have an American orbit Earth with the Friendship 7 and John Glenn mission. However, it is the Soviet Union who staked the first claim on the moon with their Luna mission. Luna 1 passed by the moon and took pictures, and the Luna 9 made the first soft moon landing in human history. However, in 1966, America joined the Soviet Union on the moon with an image of Surveyor 1. Surveyor 1 proved to be a crucial part of America's main goal, which was to put a man on the moon. This idea was poured into American society and culture by President John F. Kennedy, who promised citizens that he would have a man on the moon by 1970. And in fact, this promise stayed true because in 1969, the Apollo 11 mission successfully landed on the moon, and Neil Armstrong became the first human to set foot on the moon. During his journey, he said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." While the history of space is very extensive, it's important to know its origins and why humankind has found an interest in space travel. Explore this timeline for more information on specific missions.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to follow us for more engaging content. Every Friday for the next few weeks, we'll be sharing fascinating stories about historical events that took place on Fridays. Stay tuned for more fun and intriguing history brought to life with ClioVis. Ready to create your own timeline? Start your ClioVis journey today at ClioVis.com and dive into history like never before.